on, bro?
What's going on, bro? I want everybody in the audience to know that, first of all, this is the Smart Dumb Negus podcast, which is absolutely like, let's give a round of applause to all my niggas in the library. First of all,
All my Neil
library
riggers
buds,
know.
all my Neil riggers know, and that's exactly what I wanted to get into, if you will relish the audience with some tales. So, please tell the people because right now they're getting familiar with us and like, yo, shout out to everybody who's been watching. I know there are people who've been watching where we don't know you, you're discovering us. We're on Cab's channel. There's a lot of stuff going on where you're maybe enjoying the content, and shout out to you. Thank you for subscribing, thank you for viewing. And then people who are coming in for the first time, what's the first time you remember us doing a pod together, and how did we get here? I kind of want to walk them through it so that they know, like, this ain't no like funky go round like podcast mics just dropped out of heaven. Like, what's the first time we did a pod?
It was called the Baba Ganoush Hour.
The
I
Baba shower.
I distinctly remember that you came to me with the idea
Yeah.
to basically have like a late night TV show. It was basically like Johnny Carson
Yep.
and John was McMahon. It was
Yeah,
also
yeah. Ed
John. Well, they
McMahon.
were
Ed
both
McMahon.
Ed McMahon,
Yeah, yeah.
just with no guests, like just not famous enough to have no guests, but
Yeah,
do everything else those shows are, right? Like,
absolutely.
and I loved it because that's like, oh, didn't take much sales,
Yeah.
and that was that
It was
was
years ago. Listen,
it was
like, well, I don't want to. It
all
was
right,
it
all right,
was
all right,
years
all right.
ago.
It was a number,
It was quite some time. It was an era. It was an era. That's what the kids say, right? Like, it was an era.
but then so there was Baba Ganoush Hour, there
Yeah,
was technical difficulties.
yeah.
What was media? There's media puke.
Media puke. Yeah, that was kind of like
Yo,
a spin-off from Baba Ganoush Hour, where we were able to see how our clips and like talking over clips was its own thing. It was its own kind of like little mini. We was clip farming before these kids knew what a clip farm was, bro. Like,
keep kissing your fans.
yo, we was on G's the Gents. We was on G's the Gents.
Y'all they don't know about it. Yo, shout out to Brandon Ramsharan. I still get love for
G's the Gents,
Joe
man.
Pesci. You
And
know what I mean?
so we did the Baba Ganoush Hour, and then some years later, we were trying to reboot it with something called the Best Bad Show.
First things first.
The
The
Best
best
Bad
fashion.
Show, which
Yo,
was cool, which was an audio only project at first, right? We were just really trying to figure out how to record an audio only podcast. I remember Panera Bread, Rick Ross Panera Bread. Like, we was doing little Rick Ross
oh, I
sketches.
forgot about that.
Remember
Rick,
Hetty Slimane?
Hetty Slimane.
Like Kanye wilding for the first time about his fashion influence
oh,
and
we
how
was
he was
early in with that. We was
yeah,
early
exactly.
in with him
Exactly.
going off the cliff. Fashion. Should have
Yeah.
seen. We thought he was just talking fashion. Like, no, he was unwell. No, he was
He was unwell. He was becoming a Nazi.
he
Um,
needed medicine.
yeah, exactly. So we had jumped into the game with just the basic idea that there was a way to talk about these topics and let people in on a sense of humor that usually happen behind closed doors or in, like, private inside conversations. And who would have thought that would become a billion-dollar industry?
Yo, Drew. I have a recording from 2014
Yeah,
at the earliest
yeah.
of you describing a podcast to the T, including just the microphones and like as a joke, like just the microphone in the shot, like the kitschiness of it all.
Yeah.
And like I didn't look at the recording until like 2023 with like multiple children. I was like, oh, that's what he meant. Oh, okay. Oh, so you
Yo.
mean you mean be Joe Rogan, who was not. Listen, I'm a stand-up comedian. I love comedy, so I don't take comic slander lightly. It's easy to say Joe Rogan is not funny, but I've watched Joe Rogan get better. However,
Tell us
it
what Joe
was
Rogan is doing.
sobering to watch like that like
Yeah.
that dude's not even funny, and now he's
Yeah, yeah. The fear factor, right?
what?
The fear
Yeah,
factor guy. But before we go too far into our origin story, here's what I wanted to ask you: Is did you know about the dark skin, light skin NBA wars that are going on right now?
No.
There's a dark skin, light skin NBA war that's happening between. I will give you five guesses between the dark skinned person in the war and the light skinned person in the war, and then I'll tell you who it is if you don't
Are
guess.
they playing now?
They're not playing now. That's a great first. Well,
So
one
is
is playing.
Draymond. So is
One.
Draymond. Let's just make
So it's
let's just making
obviously
sure.
it's,
Let's
it's
just making
obviously Draymond's involved. Yes, yes. And
uh
do you know who he's warring with? Because we have the dark skin. We've established the dark skin in this equation.
no, I don't. No, I don't.
He's a podcaster. Some say nepo baby. Uh,
Um,
he is in the Curry family by marriage.
oh, oh,
This is real. This is deep cut NBA
this is
trivia.
deep cut. This is
Deep
the
cut NBA trivia.
I don't know.
His
Get another
NBA
clue. Another clue.
nepotism starts with a guy who sounds like this. He was on the Knicks at one point. He's definitely got a championship under his belt, and he's been a coach for a long time. He's definitely
Oh,
scared.
Jalen.
Huh?
Jalen.
No, no, no. Okay. Uh, Former Knick player. Uh,
Oh, hold on. Okay, hold
won
on.
Coach of the Year in his early career as a coach, and then he parlayed that into a lot of coaching stints that were less successful, and it was a lot of down 3-1 teams that came back and beat him.
Jesus Christ.
I'll give you two guesses. He's a black coach. Two guesses. He's a black coach, and he's been scamming the NBA for coaching contract extensions for the last 10 years.
Yo, Drew, don't eat like I have I have no clue, and I'm so confused that I have no clue who you're talking
What we're
about.
talking about is our man Glenn Doc Rivers.
Oh
Glenn
my
Doc Rivers
gosh.
and his son. His son is in a war
Oh
currently
my
with
gosh.
the NBA player Draymond Green.
That's he was man, that's a lot. Um, so hold on. Did because I knew Austin Rivers was above was above NAX basketball's Nas, right? Like, and then Nas beat somebody. It's there be whole thing, a whole thing happens, and I don't know. I only see the side. It's the TikTok effect where you
Yeah.
get dropped in somewhere. So for your FU, it's on your FYP page, and now it's like, well, hold on. So what happened? And they left you in Miami. They left a gay dude in Miami, and they like what? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So what happened was, um, at first, I think Austin Rivers made commentary on an ESPN show complimenting Draymond Green and basically saying that his NBA career was like one of the best NBA careers that you could have. And I think somewhere in saying that, Draymond took offense. I don't know what specifically made Draymond take offense, or if Draymond himself is trolling and rage baiting his way into the clip economy. But then after Austin Rivers makes a really accurate assessment of Draymond Green's career. Draymond Green takes that perceived offense and turns it into, well, you know what? Like my high school career, I scored the same amount of points as you, and my NBA career, we don't even want to talk about that. I wish I had my dad to gift me $42 million in NBA contracts. And so he started going personally at Austin Rivers. And then Austin Rivers came back not too long ago to say, yo, yes, you have a better NBA career than me. Let's not get unrealistic about who I was in high school because they thought he was the next Kobe, and it's because he won the National Player of the Year award. He was one of the highest scorers, and he said accurately that he was on a high school team that faced great national competition. Draymond is a great NBA player, he said, and he wasn't. It was like basically like, dog, I ain't even talking about that. I literally said your career was great and that I was a great high school player and I respect that your career was made out of nothing. Like Austin Rivers had basically the opposite career of Draymond Green. Like he had a lot of hype coming in. He was sort of like the equivalent of child star, like Luka Doncic. Like you come into
Hmm.
the NBA with a lot of accolades, and Draymond did not. Like they didn't know where he would fit, and he literally made himself into a player. But it's become like a dark skin light skin thing. Like it's feeling like a dark skin light skin war.
I thought this was going to be about Cade Cunningham, who has the most light-skinned game in
Yeah,
the
his game
NBA,
is
like
wild
the
light skin.
uh, optimal light-skinned game. So to
Yes,
say
yes.
Tyrese Halliburton's game isn't actually light-skinned to me, it's
Really?
it's yeah, no, it's because is Reggie Miller's game light-skinned?
Okay, the reason why Reggie Miller's game is dark skinned because he pushes off. So and it's not like a, oh, I'm gonna like sneak in the push off like SGA. Like I'm gonna lean in your body and then push you a little bit. It's Reggie Miller's like, no, I'm gonna like openly physically push you. Like you're Michael Jordan. I'm pushing you like we're about to start a fight. Like this is
Here,
the first blow in a fight.
here's why Tyrese Halliburton's game is officially not light-skinned.
Tell me.
The last playoffs.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's that level of cold-bloodedness. I can't call your game light skin.
Wait, wait,
I
wait.
will
But
not
who are the
refer.
light skinned assassins? Who is the most light skinned cold blooded? Is it Steph? Is Steph the only? Is Steph Curry the only light skinned
That's not a
cold
that's
blooded?
like that's not a question. He created a he's Jason Bourne.
Yeah, yeah, he really did. He really
He
did.
created a whole thing.
Yeah, and like I know we're inside baseball with this right now, but it's important for us to understand the commentary of sports radio and sports talk has turned it from like shouting middle-aged white guys who never played sports to dark-skinned former athletes versus light-skinned former athletes. I feel like that's almost entirely the debates happening right now in sports talk.
Jalen Brown need to use shit. Don't stream, man. Don't stream the NBA. Don't do that.
Yo,
Don't
Jalen
do that.
Brown is like, okay, you know how, like, I'm great. I'm glad that the name of this podcast is Smart Dumb Negus. And also, shout out to Ron Mexico for his Smart Dumb Nigga tournament. Like, we ain't forget you, bro. You out here. We know you're one of the best to ever do it.
OG.
But Jalen Brown might, like, okay, if we're going to go segment style, who are the current dark skinned, most famous smart dumb niggas? Like, and they have to be smart dumb. I think Jalen might be actually like a dumb smart nigga. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
he really reaches the status of a of a smart dumb nigga. But who are, in your opinion, the smartest dumb niggas that are also dark skinned?
That's tricky because I would put Jalen in there, right? Like
You would put him
or
in the
his
smart dumb nigga category. Okay,
his
tell us why.
I mean, let's be real. In the where did he go to college?
He was at Cal, which is like number two, like science. Like he's black men in STEM. Like he
He
knows.
he be at MIT. He
Yeah,
wants to
but
go.
like, what is
He
he?
wants
What do he be doing there?
he be
Like,
hanging out with Lupe
first of
though.
all,
He wants to go have lunch with Lupe. They might brunch. He might have a brunch with Lupe out there. But I'm counting that. That's where the I mean, who are the geniuses? Where are the real
yeah,
geniuses? And don't get me wrong. That's not to say that they're not. They're also there, but it's
yeah,
the spread because it's like, listen, uh, I was thinking Kyrie.
yeah.
Now,
Kyrie is up there. Kyrie is up there. Kyrie has been vindicated actually way more than people want to talk about. Like even more than I want to talk about. I was not quite ready to crown Kyrie smart anything. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready
listen,
for that.
man,
I
all he
wasn't ready.
did, the
Yeah.
the weirdest thing he did was post a DVD. Like like there's some things in the DVD you might not agree with, but man, has that's aged okay, right?
Wait. I want to rewind a little bit here because I don't know the contents of that DVD in full. Like I don't know if this was the kind of DVD that says that like women shouldn't have a menstrual cycle. You know what I mean? Like I haven't watched the full film to know
Neither have
exactly
I.
what they're saying.
And this is how crazy it is. Even in that context, it's aged okay.
It's aged like okay. Let's grade it on the smart dumb nigga scale. I would say he is probably at his masters. He probably got his masters, right? And he's got a couple of he got a couple like signatures in his lapel. Like he has some embroidery from dumb nigga studies, but I don't think he's quite PhD. I don't think he's quite master teacher yet, right? He has some steps toward a field of study and a discipline. But when I'll say this, that's the best podcast phrase that's been going around. That I'll say this is like the new thing. It's the new verbal stem. Um, if Kyrie was forced to summarize a book without ChatGPT or the help of a DVD or Amazon Prime, would he be able to?
No, that's okay. You know,
Well, yo,
I
here's a question. When's the last time you think Kyrie Irving read a book? And audiobooks count, like listening counts.
oh, did I give him? I get last year. I think
Yeah,
last
no,
year
for sure.
he listened to a couple, and he might even read in this kerfuffle. He read one or two.
Yeah, I get
He's
that.
he might even read one in season.
What are the chances that it's not Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Ugh.
For 48 Laws
And
of
the
Laws of
Power.
48
power.
laws of
What are
power.
the chances that it's not one of Black Men's Bookshelf books?
It is the Four Agreements. Where are we putting that?
Woo!
Right? It's also pamphlet-y, right? Like, but it's not, he
Are we
doesn't say
talking?
anything.
Listen. Anything that's like a parable, anything that's like a famous parable, like so. No, The Secret. No, The Alchemist. No,
Oh
not
man.
and even as much
Celestine
respect.
Prophecy?
Celestine prophecy.
Like how far we going?
First of all, none of those, not one of them. Like
Oh
a
man,
book,
okay.
a book with an author that you could say is not on the 1980 to 1995 bestseller list on Fulton Ave. Like
The
if
Hay
it
House, no Hay House books either.
you honestly, I would give him credit for that.
Oh,
If
word, he could
he
get some
got
Wayne Dyer in there.
yeah. If he goes that deep into reading, that's like I'm like no credit where it's due, bro. Like if you like, I don't need you to have a library card. I just need you to actually go into an area of expertise. My issue with Kyrie, and it's probably why he's a smart dumb nigga, is he's an OD skimmer. Like he's Ray Skimmered. There's no way he's going past like okay, actually him and LeBron might be like all-time skim masters.
LeBron's
They wear
reading
skims.
PR, his reading PR is great because he really
Oh my
gashed it like he be
god.
reading
Oh
the
my
books,
god.
like he be in the locker room. I've never seen him holding one of those books open for longer than three. Like you don't know where were you at in that book?
Yo, first of all, it's the one time we don't talk about LeBron's vision. Like when he's reading, like he doesn't, he never held a book open for longer than it takes to snap a photo of him holding a book. Um, it's, I think, in terms of like SDNs, like real smart dumb nigga, um, like champions in the game. Like okay, you have a lot of people convinced. Actually, you have a lot of people convinced that you have a level of expertise. I'm gonna go with Kanye West. I think Kanye West might be the king of the smart dumb niggas. Like I think he's one of the most successful avatars of people who say the phrase, you need to start thinking for yourself. You need to start doing your research.
Do your
Call
research
people
on it.
sheep.
Exactly. Call people sheep. He might have some words for you if you're not doing your own research. And also, like I said, with Kyrie, has never owned a library card. Like it's like for the people who are so insistent about doing their own research, they are not part of any research institution.
Wait, look, where you doing it at? Is Google doing all the heavy lifting here? Googling is not research, homie.
First of all, their Google AI summary is sweating, bro. Like that shit is in like full perspiration mode because it's doing every last bit of that work.
And it's hitting them with these. It's giving them those emojis, and I don't know what to tell you. Say, I don't know what to tell you.
Like, yo, Kyrie has done so much research about the validity of astrology that his Google is like, bro, like, give it a rest.
Like, you got it. It's like, yeah, word.
He's in Web 3.0.
He's with that sigil. He be hitting them with the sigil. You know what I mean?
So
Oh,
no, go.
I realized that I stepped on this last time. It may not be the
What?
podcast for it.
What?
But what's happening on OnlyFans?
Oh man, a lot's happening over there, man. A lot's happening over there. Well, the founder and CEO is gone. He croaked, right? He kicked the bucket.
I forgot about that part of it.
First of all,
Yeah.
I stay out of those people's business. Like, first, once the Epstein files drops, and then you want to die, that I have questions. Like, I'm going on my full Kyrie in that situation. It's like, oh, Epstein files drop, and like you are the biggest pornographer in the world, and you just fucking up and disappear. I don't know about it.
Okay, there's like a whole like pre OnlyFans, right?
Wait, what you mean?
See, I don't know. This level of whiteness I'm not privy to it, but I was talking to Eric,
Okay.
the homie,
Yeah.
and there's like this site where it's like it's specifically 14. Okay, so there's like a documentary about these girls who were in a house together, one of these influencer houses, but
Yeah.
they're young and their parents give them permission,
Okay.
and it's kind of like you're making uh
None of this sounds
so
good, by the way.
yeah, like teasing as content that is supposed to arouse, but it's not pornography, but it's like purposely
Right. It's
pre-pornography,
like
and
on
then the girl, and then like
cusp of
there
it.
have been girls who've gone from it too old enough, and like instantly
Right.
millions. So what was the AI thing you was talking?
First of all, not IPOing your pussy. That's crazy. Not your parents IPOing your pussy. Um, I think that's one of the most despicable things I've ever heard in my life, and I think the only thing that makes it more tragic is how believable it is.
No,
That
that is
of course
definitely
it's
a
like
real
its own
thing.
market, right?
I didn't expect to bring this up in the podcast, but it's like,
Listen here,
and how
I'm
normal
not
it
here to
is.
judge how you found out.
And how
Listen, you're a parent, so you got to know these things. I don't need to know these things.
But the thing is, okay, that's the thing. It was it's almost like the reason I found out about it it wasn't about like safety or parenting. It was about whiteness. It's like because it's almost like these are privileged people.
Yeah, yeah.
This exists in the world of like coddled, okay, the
Got you.
coddled influencer
Yes,
life,
yes.
and it's being a desirable path to be
Okay,
trended on,
okay, got you.
and like removing the fact that it's like
Like
sex,
morally terrible and reprehensible.
and we're talking about sex again, like that whole the sexual, that the whole dating as
Mhm,
sex
mhm.
work, and
Right.
this weird, so it's like, are we being sex positive, or are we psychotic?
Yeah, it's absolutely 100% psychotic. I mean, I think the line is that's what I would say. The line between sex positivity and psychosis is somewhere on the line between like one, does it involve statutory anything? Like,
Does it involve children? That's pretty.
does it involve a statute? Like, you know what I'm saying? If it involves the penal code, like it's out. I don't want it.
Pretty
And
clear, actually.
then any kind of commercial exchange. Like, here's the thing that really disappointed me about the Diddy conversation, among the many things. Like, that list is long, but when the Diddy conversation hit the barbershops, what do you think was the most sort of popular defense of Diddy that folks wanted to kind of like hop on the bandwagon of? Let me get back in focus real quick. My bad.
Yeah, it's being on some hater. What I mean, so I there's a Diddy isn't hasn't been beloved in the way that Big is beloved,
Right, right.
right? So people in the same way that like R. Kelly, we never really defended R. Kelly too heavy because
I'm gonna say present company. Like, we didn't. There's a world. Trust me, there's a world.
okay, when I say that, meaning because we had already protected him, because we knew about his behavior as a community way before it was he the statute got brought up, right? It
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
and so in the same way, it's like niggas been not fucking with. Oh, what's that? There's that's your man. That's your man. There's a
Yeah,
whole
yeah, yeah.
meme.
That
Oh,
shit,
there's
man, that got
been,
caught
and
up
it's
on sex
old.
assault charges. Yeah,
That's old, right? That
yeah,
shit is
yeah.
old. We been not fucking with him, but it's also like there's a few things. It's like almost like that's Big's man. So we kind of like just give him. He's getting a 20-year pass that doesn't
Right,
make any sense,
right,
right?
right.
Um, then there's also the like just the problematic misogynistic shit of like, but Cassie, he been with Cassie
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
so it's like it's her fault because
But
she why she there?
right. So that the victim blaming part. But the thing that really shocked and surprised me about the Diddy defense and how it came up in certain circles in my hood, certain black men that I would overhear, was that if you are paying for sex, like if you're doing a transactional relationship, it ties into the OnlyFans thing. It's almost like all morals are out the door, or like all laws are out the door. So he was the common argument, and the argument that actually is probably going to free him earlier than his sentencing, is that because he was engaging in transactional consensual behavior with sex workers, that like all's fair game, right? But that's not true. Like, just because you engage in a transactional relationship doesn't mean, for instance, that you can change the terms of consent, which he was doing regularly. It doesn't mean that you can impair somebody's ability to consent, which he was also doing regularly. And most people that I was hearing was like, well, bro, it's the same thing as the Cassie argument. Like, well, you know, she knew who she was, or if you're a sex worker that he found on fucking Backpage or wherever, oh, well, they knew what they was getting into. It's like, that may be true. That doesn't mean that you should rape someone. And that's kind of where I'm seeing like a lot of this OnlyFans and like influencer to fucking sex work pipeline go.
So this comes back to your point about taxonomy, right? We're always in.
Yeah,
So okay, this it's a great way of it's a great illustration of my question. Like, where's the line between sex positivity and psychosis,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And the fact that we even have to draw all these lines is inherently the problem
yeah,
because it's like, why are we looking for way? It's like, why is sex positivity become a cover for figuring out ways to harm people? Like
yeah,
that's not, and like there being terms in which, well, if you pay somebody to, you know, oh man, terrible. So when we were in high school
yeah.
and I used to go visit Chappelle, Chappelle was at Brooklyn Tech. Chappelle was never at schools. He was outside with the homies,
Yeah.
throwing each other through tables. They would find random tables and they would throw. They was always
We some
on
table
bullshit.
buses. There was
They
some
was table
table
busting. They was some
buses.
table busters,
We some
right?
table buses.
Buses, what? We some table
Table
busters,
buses.
bitch. We
We
some
some
table.
table buses.
And there's this homie that he made me uncomfortable. One of Chappelle's homies, not because I didn't understand why he was his homie. He was funny.
Yeah.
This white kid. He was a funny kid.
Yeah.
But he just made me uncomfortable. And one time we were hanging out and he was like, yeah, we hired this midget, you can hire these midgets and then you just throw them around for half an hour. Right? It's just like, and it was a real thing. But I'm like, what?
Yeah. It's like, but why? But why do you
Like,
want to do that?
and you can't. The, so your point about taxonomy was we have a problem where people keep on getting left out, and so we come up with a term to include them, but that just points out somebody else getting left out,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But the issue is that it's because our humanity doesn't take care of us. If our humanity was inclusive, we wouldn't need these distinctions to say I'm a this and that's why I need protect. They're
Yeah.
protections. It's
Yeah.
because we need protection,
Right.
right?
Right.
We need to protect, and it's because we constantly need our humanity. We don't protect each other anymore.
Yeah.
It's not a
But you know what?
fundamental
I think you asked a
presumption.
really great question about the line between positivity and psychosis. And I would say that line is consent. And I also love to break down consent into the simplest terms, which is one that especially a parent can understand, right? So if you tell your son, Cairo, if you say, hey, you can take $2 out my wallet, I'm going to leave it on the kitchen counter, right? And Cairo goes and takes those $2 out of the wallet on the kitchen counter, consent established, right? All right. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions that are follow ups. Let's say you leave that same wallet on the kitchen counter and you're like, yo, take $2, but after 4 p.m., you can't take the $2 because I'm about to buy lollipops for all y'all. So you got to make sure you take those $2 by 4 p.m. And he goes after 4 p.m. and takes those $2. Does Cairo still have consent for those $2?
No, no,
Right.
I specifically, yeah.
So how about this? If you tell him on that day and at that time to take those $2 out your wallet, and he's like, okay, cool. Every day at the same time, I'm gonna take those $2. Is that consent?
Nope.
Right? Like, it's so easy to explain that to people when you make it about a wallet or a pocketbook and a kid taking things that they are allowed to take versus what they're not allowed to take. But when you start talking about Diddy and a sex worker and an OnlyFans creator and like, well, she knew what she was getting. As soon as you start talking about those terms, everybody doesn't. It's so confusing. So,
How
oh,
many
we,
dollars?
what do we?
How many dollars though? How many dollars you said? Nah, because you only took one of them. But what if you just took one of the dollars?
Yo, but lollipops is cheap, bro. Like if you want him to take $2, you might as well let him take $5. Like it's the most
Okay,
backwards.
but I do have a question
Yeah, yeah,
about that. I was watching a video that was a really dope video. It was about consent and it was about
yeah, yeah.
enthusiastic consent, right?
Yes,
Because
yes.
someone can give you their
Hmm.
consent and they can
Right.
withdraw their
Yes.
consent, right?
Absolutely. Right.
Um, and sometimes so we talk about this
Hmm.
through the framework of requesting like only looking for enthusiastic consent,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And that makes total sense.
Yes.
I don't think it accounts for dating the world you get when you the adult dating world that we have right now very well.
Yeah,
And
that's a good
here's
point.
why I say that.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to, I have had to be I've had to come to understand
Hmm.
that my standard in dating has to be completely separate from people who I'm intending to date. And the reason I say that is because if I'm if if I set my standard up as enthusiastic consent,
Mhm.
then I also have to accept when I don't get enthusiastic consent, and so I don't pursue a romantic
Yes.
opportunity
Right.
where there actually was consent, it just wasn't enthusiastic. Because there are there are lots of reasons
Yeah.
why there are lots of situations in which people don't feel comfortable being enthusiastic about their
Yeah.
consent, that
Absolutely.
having some caution about communicating, and or even that a part of what they desire is for you to not overcome an objection, but to pursue through uncertainty,
Okay.
right?
I
I'm
do
not going
see
to
what you're
give
saying.
you a certainty
Right.
here,
Right. Right.
and I'm attracted by you pushing through that.
Okay. So
That
I
sets a
will.
wide.
I'm gonna push on this. I'm gonna like counterpoint and push a little bit on this. Is there a choice for you? Because Louis C.K. has a joke like that in one of his sets where there's a woman who's like, I want you to do these things and it's got to be like this. And the joke is that Louis C.K. as a man feels compelled to continue in the pursuit. Right now, let's say we take away the part that you're this man performing having to be a man. If you're uncomfortable, but it goes against your manhood, what do you do?
Uh, hold on. You asking me what I actually do or what I was supposed to do?
No, what you actually do. You're uncomfortable, but it goes against your idea of manhood or what a man's supposed to do. What do you do?
I usually do the thing I think a man's supposed to do because I think a man's supposed to be uncomfortable.
Okay, so what I'll say is that I don't
Often,
believe any
often.
idea. It's like that Wembenyama quote. Did you see the one where he's talking about receiving criticism because he cried after this big game and they won. It was like the Spurs won in a close game. He had an amazing game. And he cried after it. And the trolls online came out, and I think the quote was, "I'm gonna look it up actually to be completely accurate about it, and we can cut this down for time just so that we know exactly what he
Yeah, because we
said."
good.
Yeah, but it's a really good treatise on manhood and like supposed manhood, um, and what we're expected to do versus like what makes you a human.
Hmm.
Okay, let me see what the quote says. All right. So he said, okay, so here it goes. So this is from Yahoo Sports, and the headline is Wembanyama defends tears on the court amid first career Spurs playoff run. And he said, so fans who have criticized or mocked him for his tears, his response was this. That's a tough question. I think it's first and foremost a fear of judgment. Like this feeling that you have to act a certain way, social codes, I guess. Personally, I refuse to carry the burden of having to hide my emotions.
Mm,
So
mm,
when I am uncomfortable, like let's say there's a woman, and this has happened to me in my life because we've had a life, that some part of their makeup, wiring, what they were taught, what turns them on, what would engage them with me involves not looking like enthusiastic consent or some sort of like subliminal or covert consent. And I become uncomfortable. Now, when I was a young man, I thought, yeah, like I'm going to carry this burden of being uncomfortable here, even though it doesn't feel right. And now that I'm in a different phase of my life, I'm just like, oh no, that's just a filter to show me I don't need to be with that person. Like, because if they're going to require me the burden of carrying discomfort in a situation where I really want to be comfortable, like I want to be intimate, I want to be safe, I want to have pleasure. And pleasure to me is the opposite of discomfort a lot of times. Like when I'm having my maximum pleasure, I don't want to be thinking about what I need to hide or hold back or not have. I'm thinking about, or I'm not thinking actually. I'm just being, I'm just enjoying, I'm just receiving and giving pleasure. And so I think when someone indicates to me that they need something that's not a straight up, I enjoy pleasure and I can tell you what my pleasure looks like and feels like, and we can go through that together. As soon as there's some sort of combination lock to that, I'm like, okay, cool. There's someone out there for you who wants to do that combination lock. It's not me.
Right. Like I'm good. I'm good.
You know?
But it takes it that requires a self-confidence and a knowing yourself. And getting to know yourself is a process, right? It's like, and
Yes.
we haven't created an environment in which we're fostering people getting to know themselves in healthy
Yes.
ways often,
Yes.
right? Like
Yes.
unfortunately, and a lot for men, like a lot. So like you said, you made a transition, and like
Yeah.
even a lot of men don't even make the transition. Like you're talking about
Yeah. Yeah.
at the
Well, I mean,
barbershop.
you're raising boys who will eventually be young men. How do you approach that kind of thing? Because they're eventually going to come to you with that and say, hey, dad, like what she said she wanted seemed different than these signals, or like, what do you say to that?
So everything has to remain in the appropriate age, and
Yeah, yeah, of course.
within with my boys, the way it actually ends up mattering is that if one of them says no about something to the other, or to the most common example is one of them will tell the other to stop doing something or that they don't want them to do it.
Right,
And I am very clear, if that's repeated, I stop those actions very quickly,
right.
because when somebody says no, that's what they mean. And it's just it's a
No is a
so
complete sentence.
and it's also about the emotionally get you don't have making sure they understand that
Mhm.
they need to control themselves in that situation.
Yes.
You need, and I understand that it might not be easy, right? It might not be easy to control yourself here. You're not doing it because you intend to do, you're
Mhm.
just losing control.
Yeah.
Your excitement over something is getting, but
Have you seen that content from that black creator in the South where
Consent.
he's coaching young boys on
Remember we
consent?
went
Have
over
you ever seen
consent?
that content?
I'm not yeah, I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I was thinking about with the
Yeah, yeah.
woman and the hug.
The
That
hug.
was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
And that's like that. I have that saved because that was
Yes.
brilliant, right? That's brilliant. And so I even asked the question I'm asking is because as my boys get older and older,
Yeah.
I am starting to come to the like Kyra's becoming less creeped out by what they call it, sus, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
sus stuff. And Noah, he's still everything is sus. Cairo's just quiet now,
Yeah.
right? Now he's
Yeah.
just quiet. He's learning in human development, right?
Yeah.
So because um a part of growing up, like so a part of exploring is knowing what's too far, right? Where your
Yes.
edge is,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so it's easy to keep him on the path now, but
Yeah.
I recognize that there's a point where he's got to do things past what he thinks he's allowed to. That
Mm.
sex is kind of it is maybe for religious reasons, but it's become inherently forbidden, right? Now
Hmm.
it's an
Hmm.
inherently forbidden exploration, right?
Yeah.
And that's healthy. That's actually a healthy, important thing because
Yeah.
it kind of is, right? Like
Yeah.
the reality is we walk around the world in clothes and now you gotta like be butt naked with somebody. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
oh, I'm
different.
a ground person butt naked with this person. Like, how does it go? Right? Like
Yeah.
how do we do this? You gotta,
Yeah.
there is because there's no answer. Everybody's giving you and it's bull, it's like
Yeah. They
no,
don't know.
there's no answer. There's no, like we all watching each other learning, like, oh, hold on, you could do that.
Yeah.
What you can spit in their mouth? They be letting you spit in their mouth, right? Like that wasn't you wasn't doing we wasn't doing that in high school, but somebody was,
Yeah.
right?
Someone
Somebody was
was.
doing it off risk, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's and it comes back to consent and so there was one final point about that because um the truth is so that relates back to that like that point of compatibility. It really comes down to compatibility, and I
Right.
don't think we date for compatibility very well.
Yeah. That's
Oh man, I wish. Eric also sent me this video of these two people who are on the spectrum in some way, who were out on
Mhm.
a date. And there's a lot of shows like that, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
the lady was
Love
like,
on the Spectrum is like one of the biggest ones, right?
so the dude was like, he was like, I don't think we'll be able to, because I like anime and you like video games. And then she was like, well, I don't know. And then she was like, yeah, I think we'll be friends. But they were so well
Direct.
able to,
Yeah,
and also he was like, oh, when she was like, let's be friends, he was like, oh, that's a great idea.
yeah,
Like, meanwhile, dudes are like murdering this whole community. There's
yeah,
a whole website, right, that I don't about graping, right? So
yeah,
normal people losing their mind,
yeah.
absolutely
It's like
losing
it
their
makes you wonder
mind.
who's normal,
You know
right?
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
As opposed to just, we don't date well for compatibility anymore. We date for identity. It reflects something about, we need the person to reflect something about us and
yeah,
what we mean, how valuable we are,
yeah,
regardless of how, if we're compatible or not. I'll be somebody I'm not if it means that I can reflect this image
yeah.
I want to have.
Yo, that's so good that we're gonna end the episode on that. I am so happy that I can take that with me into the world. We don't date for compatibility. We date for the
Identity.
reflection, the identity that we want. So, yo, this is a Smart Dumb Negus podcast. I'm Andrew Ricketts. This is Bwa Meeks, aka Anwar. You can find me on the Substack Big Black Commentary. You can find Anwar on Instagram as Bwa Meeks, and we out, bro.
Yeah. Peace. Another good one, man. I'll talk to
Yo,
you soon.
yeah, man.
Flourish, nigga. Flourish, nigga. Flourish.